Snappers, this is Tortimer the Grey. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Minecraft on the TimeShot server. We are out on Tortoise Island, and we are going to be, well, we're not going to be working on Tortoise Island today. There's some stuff here that's been updated since you guys maybe saw it last. In fact, I had recorded an episode that was supposed to go out 2 or 3 weeks ago, doing an update on Tortoise Island. I think I talked about what we were doing. I started, so let me give you a quick rundown of what's happened out here since the last time you guys have maybe been out here. I switched some stuff around. So on this list previously, it had said we needed an enchanting room, we needed a path to and from spawn, and we needed a stable. And that was our to-do list for at spawn. The path to and from spawn I have counted as done. The sewer is in place, which you guys have seen. We're going to be doing a little bit of work on the sewer at some point. Probably I'll just be doing it off camera. But I'm doing things like adding alcoves off and... oh, I don't have my Depth Strider boots. We'll talk about that in a second. And then there's also a portion down here where, oh yeah, it's right here, where Poet, because several people have on the server have really liked the idea that they came and saw my sewer and were like, oh, that's awesome, I want one too. So Poet is building a sewer connecting from his spawn base, so that's going to connect up about right here. Edson is building one from out at his base, his savannah or whatever. He's building one trying to kind of spawn. So, I mean, that's going to be a big, long sewer for him. But yeah, so just doing a little bit of work here. I still have a bit of detailing and stuff to do, I think, in some sections down there. But for the most part, the path to spawn is done. I also decided, kind of, not really last minute, but I made a decision that instead of building like an outdoor enchanting room or something to that effect, or trying to build an extra building, it made more sense for me to have kind of my library sort of set up here in the house. And so that's what I've done. I set up the enchanting room. This is a level 30 enchanter, so we can get 30 levels enchants there, which is fantastic. And then I decided I had the furnaces there, but I figured, you know, we're kind of doing a rustic little setup anyway. Why not have like a little outdoor kitchen or something like this? So I set up this small auto furnace. Fuel goes there, you know, resources go there. I haven't put the facade or anything on it yet, but I'm gonna make a little cute outdoor furnace here, as opposed to, or outdoor kitchen to cook things up at. So that's pretty much everything that's going on. I did add a couple things to the list. I put in, I want a water feature and I want to mess with the dock. So we've pretty much got everything started here. I've got the water feature potentially. I just feel like we need something in this area, and I feel like a water feature would break it up. I started laying this in. I think this might end up being a little too small. I was also thinking I might do just like a little pond or something, so I'm still thinking about that. And then obviously we've got the stable laid in here. It's going to be just a small little thing, but it's going to fit here pretty nice. And then the dock I've got on the list because we've got this dock, but I'm really not happy with it. I did like an update to it a while ago, and I'm not happy with it. I don't think it fits very well, so I'm gonna redo that. But today is not about spawn. Today we are not working at spawn. Today we are going to head out to our out of spawn area where we claimed several episodes ago, and we are going to be doing a little bit of work out there. I figured it's about time that we started at least a little bit of progress out there. Now it's going to be a pretty big project. But I wanted to at least get started on it so you guys had an idea of what was going to be happening, and that way maybe if I get bored and I want to get on and do a little building or something, then I can certainly do that. I haven't been bored a lot lately because I don't have that much free time anymore. Well, really, I never had that much free time, but I've got so many other series going. You know, I've got Pokemon Yellow, and occasionally I have to do grinding in there. But I've got, you know, Minecraft Jurassic World. I've got Ark. Ark really has ended up taking up a lot of my time lately. It's a lot of fun, but it's one of those games that you do have to do grindy stuff in, like, you know, I've got to get food for my dinosaurs, you know, all the time, or fuel to run my refrigerators, or, you know, whatever. And so that game, I've spent a lot of time in there, and a lot of my friends, you know, Jay Seeds over playing on that game. You know, and a lot of the time shotters are pretty active over there as well. So that's been taking up a lot of time. So I haven't spent much time on the TimeShot server lately. If I'm not recording, I genuinely haven't been here, but I did spend some time recently, and I've been working on this base here a bit. And so this is going to be a big project, guys. You guys will notice, I guess we'll talk about this, my inventory is basically empty. I've got some basic iron tools and stuff like that. That is because I was out here and I decided I want to expand this just slightly. And so I was taking out some blocks in the diagonals of this. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 octagon. It's an octagon, and oh, and here. So these guardians, man, oof, they hit hard. And I was in the water taking out the diagonals there, and because I didn't want to lose all the blocks, I was like, well, I'll be in the water, and that way I can get the blocks and things like that. But then I got swarmed. Took this out, no problem. I was over here taking out this diagonal and got swarmed by all these stupid guardians. I tried this is deep ocean here. This is deep ocean. And so I tried 5 or 6 times to get down there and get my stuff. I was able to grab some things, but was never able to get back up and never really able to gather everything up. I would get down there, grab a couple of things, and be dead. And I eventually was just like, you know what? It's easy enough to replace stuff in Minecraft. I'm just not going to worry about it right now. So that's where we're at currently. I have nothing. All of my good items, my infinity bow. Like, I spent a lot of time after the last time I lost a bunch of stuff. Which I think was I was hanging out at my sheep farm, I think, waiting for them to respawn some wool and stuff. I think it was when I was doing prep for the Cookie Monster prank against Mara that we did with Huck, and I was hanging out at the sheep farm waiting for them to regain some wool, and then I ended up having to leave, and I forgot to log out, and I ended up like starving to death or whatever and losing all my items there. But yeah, I spent a lot of time rebuilding. Thankfully, with the farm, the Ender farm, and combined with mindless mining, we've got an excessive amount of resources and access to levels, so it's not a huge deal. Yeah, so we've got nothing. I made some quick tools just to kind of get us through today. Yeah, we're pretty much without a lot of resources at the moment, at least weapons and armor wise. But so this octagon is going to be kind of the center point of this new base, and for those of you guys who are new, this base is kind of out in the middle of the ocean, intentionally. That's where I wanted to build. And what we are going to be doing is we're going to be creating kind of a like floating ocean sort of city, kind of like. I mean, it's not really going to be floating. So the example, well, it was going to be. I've changed since the first time that we came out here, and kind of claimed this place, and I kind of explained what I wanted to be doing. I've sort of changed what direction I'm going with it just a bit, because when I first started out here, I was going to make just like this humble little, floating, city area. I was modeling it kind of after like Pacific Log Town in Pokemon. It's a city in the Hoenn region, and basically you're just out on the water, kind of houses built on floating log rafts, things like that. And there was going to be nothing terribly spectacular about it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're not, there was nothing wrong with that idea, but as I was watching, all these people on TimeShot, and more, I try to keep up with people's episodes. For people who, when I'm on a server with people, whether it's, PXO or, when I was on Farside or, which Decimon or, TimeShot, I have tried my best to keep up with those people's content. At the very least for, the server that I'm on. So I don't generally watch a lot of big YouTubers. Really the only big YouTuber I still watch is Vintage Beef. I love Beef and his content, so I watch his stuff all the time. But besides that, mainly the YouTube content that I consume is, people that I am on servers with. And that's partially because those are my friends, and I enjoy watching content that my friends are putting out. But I like to keep up with, you know, what's going on my servers, you know, so I watch everybody's ARC videos, I watch everybody's TimeShots videos, at least as best I can. I don't always, you know, have an opportunity to, like, comment on everything or whatever, but I am watching it for the most part. And I know a lot of people are too busy to do that, and so I'm pretty lucky in that my job, my real-world job is, you know, a desk job, which is boring, and, you know, and they haven't blocked YouTube at work. They've blocked a lot of stuff, like I can't watch Twitch streams or whatever, which is, I'm kind of hoping that YouTube streaming takes off, so maybe I can take part in some streams at some point. But the fact of the matter is, I have the option to watch some videos, and so I try to keep up with people. But I'm you know, wandering around Spawn, or I'm watching people's videos or whatever, and I'm just realizing there are a lot of really good builders on TimeShot, just really good builders, and you know, I don't want. I've been pretty happy with, like, how Tortoise Island is coming out, and you know, it's not done by any means, but I'm watching things like, okay, so Anasia's working on her new base, and Anasia is an amazing builder, and I shouldn't even attempt to measure up to Anasia, but you know, she's amazing, and her new base is looking great, and you know, I was looking at the concept. I, you know, started several components of this in a creative world, and just looking at that stuff, comparing it to everything else that was going up on the server, I was like, you know what? I haven't even put one block down yet. I really should take into consideration, you know, is this up to par? And you know, part of being a builder in Minecraft is, you know, you want to challenge yourself, and you want to build things that people haven't seen before, and that people will, you know, appreciate, and things like that. You know, if I was going to build something that I'm like, you know what, this isn't my best work, then it's probably not worth building so much. And so I kind of just had to stop, and I was like, you know what, I don't think that this, it's really sad, my items are down there despawning. Well, I'm sure they've despawned by now, but, I mean, I was out of the area. This was just recently. Everything's gone now. All my items are now gone. But I mean, so I was taking a look at my concept, and I was pretty happy with it. But as I was thinking about it more and more, I'm just like, you know what? We can do better. We can do better. And so that's the plan. That's the plan. And originally, so this is going to be just a humble, you know, little floating base out in the middle of the ocean or whatever. And I was, you know, figured it'd be unique on TimeShot. There's not really a whole lot of that kind of stuff out here. But I decided, you know what, no, I'm going to kick up the game a little bit, and we're going to create something that's pretty cool. Because, you know, I've kind of enjoyed, you know, like with the sewer thing, you know, Poet and Edson and these guys, they really liked that that concept, and I can't take credit for the concept necessarily. Gemma Girl gave me that suggestion, but they liked it, and they liked my execution of it, and they decided they wanted to take part in it as well. And that's pretty cool. When you're a builder and other people have those kinds of reactions to things, that's pretty cool. And as you guys saw last episode, I'm definitely more of a builder than a fighter. We definitely got our butts kicked a little bit in the Clash of the Disciples, and I'm sure Jake and I will be doing some more PvP training and things like that to get us up a little bit better. But yeah, it's one of those things. Building is where it's at for me in Minecraft, and I'm not a spectacular builder. I'm no BOO or Corrales or any of these other people who, you know, are true, you know, high-class builders. I'm no in Asia, you know, it's things like that. But that's one of the aspects of this game that I enjoy the most. And so I want to make sure that I'm continuing to build up my own skills and things like that. And so we're kicking it up a little bit. And so moving from just a tiny little floating island sort of thing, we're going to be creating a little more of a grand spectacle thing here. And so this section that we're working on now, so presently we've got the nether portal here, but this is not where the portal room is going to be. Well, it probably isn't where the portal room is going to be. In my initial design, the center of the base was not where that was going to be coming from. But you know, things change. Maybe I need to re-examine that a little bit. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, this middle section is going to be it's a pretty large section, and you know, the base is still going to be set up kind of like, you know, the Pacific Logtown thing, where like I'm not gonna build like one giant platform and put everything on it. everything is, you know, the farms are going to be out in their own little section, and you know, all this other stuff is going to be kind of segmented up a bit. Kind of, if you guys, I'm sure most of you guys haven't been watching since my Farside days. I doubt anybody has been watching since my Farside days necessarily, but on that server I had kind of a base out in this Taiga biome, which I was really proud of, my fortress, and I broke that base up into quadrants. And as part of that, I broke up you know, the different things. So like you would come into the base and you'd come into this central courtyard, and so this base is going to be kind of an expansion of that idea, I guess, because we're going to come into, you know, you've got a central courtyard type area like I did on Farside, but then it would branch off, and you know, you would follow the yellow path, and that would take you to the storage room or something, or you know, whatever, or the green path would take you to, I think that ended up being, remember. I finished that fortress. Took me so long that eventually the server was dying anyway, but I was doing so many other things out at that base. I think I finished that green path earlier. But anyway, so you know, the red path would take you to the furnaces and things like that. And I'm not going to break stuff up quite like that necessarily, but this is going to have quadrants. So on each of these edges, there's going to be paths to go out. So let's say, well, I've got the colors here. So the yellow path, I think yellow is going to be like livestock. So this will come out, and the bridge will come out, and it'll connect up to other platforms that, you know, have the different livestock farms and things like that. And what all that's going to look like is still a bit in conception stage, but I'm pretty excited about where we're going to go with it at this point. Okay, so let's see, these guys can see me even from like down there. Ugh. And so we really need to get this platform going, because standing around out here on just like scaffolding and stuff is not safe. So let's get yeah, we're gonna lose that. That's all right. Again, resources are, the beauty of Minecraft is that you can get everything back. There's nothing, I guess, except for maybe the dragon egg that is lost for good. You can go get anything else back that you want. So we'll go dig up more dirt, or you know, make more torches, or build more armor, build more tools, and we'll be fine. So this central section is going to be kind of the central hub, and I may end up working the portal room into it somehow. That wasn't my original intention, but as I'm thinking about it, that might make more sense. But realistically, what's going to be out here? This is going to be a large central station platform, and what's going to be out here is going to be, in the end, the donator farm, or donator hall, or whatever. On my Patreon, which if you guys haven't seen it, I don't really talk about, you know, donation stuff real frequently. You know, sometimes I'll say something about it, you know, but usually I don't push that stuff a whole lot. But in the description of every video, there is a bunch of links to places where, if you guys feel like you want to support the channel, I give you the means to do so by providing you the link to Patreon and like just PayPal. If you guys don't want to do a monthly thing, if you would rather do a you know, a one-time donation or something, I've got my Patreon there, or my PayPal there, and or my Spreadshirt link if you want to get a Tortimer t-shirt or something, and have your one-time donation, you know, sort of through that. You have the option to do that. And so I don't really push that there. It's in the link to every, you know, video if people have a heart to do that. And I have a handful of you know, very dedicated subscribers who have been with me for a very long time, and they have decided to support me financially. And so I have, I think, 6 patrons at the moment, and patrons, and they're awesome. I love my patrons that I have. I enjoy doing stuff. You know, I've got a little mini series running right now that is exclusive to Patreon and things like that. I mean, so I do things too, because I'm so grateful to those people who choose to do that. And so I've got a little mini series going, and you know, they seem to be enjoying that, which is awesome, because I'm doing that, you know, strictly as a thank you to them. The 6 views that I get on the video or whatever, obviously, you know, that's not doing anything for me. That series is totally for them. But one of the levels I have on Patreon you know, you can set up different levels on that site where, like, oh, if you donate more than $5, you get this sort of thing. And one of the levels there, I think it's $5 or above, is you get what it currently says is you get a statue in the Hall of Donators. But I think when I set this all up, I was still on the Decimon server, and it's been a while since then. That server shut down. I had built a Hall of Donators there, and I had some statues up and things like that for the people who donated at that level. But that server's gone, and I have not at this point yet set up something new, which I feel bad about because those people donated to that level, and they had a statue there at some point, but it is since. Oh crap! There we go. Oof. Ender Pearling saves lives. So they, you know, they've kind of been going without a, you know, their bonus sort of thing there for a while, and so, you know, it's not something that I was like, I don't know, I wasn't really thinking initially that this was something I needed to do, but the more I watch, every single time-shotter has some sort of Hall of Donators on here, and I was thinking originally, you know, Jurassic World was kind of my most viewed series for a bit, and it's kind of leveled out to where TimeShot and Jurassic World are pretty much the same at this point. And so I was thinking originally, well, maybe I'll do it on Jurassic World. I downloaded the statues mod and stuff like that, but then I'm like, well, not everybody has Minecraft. Not all my, you know, because I when I started this channel, I did a lot more Pokemon stuff, and in fact, all of my Patreons come from like my Pokemon days. Which is why my mini-series is a little Pokemon game for them. Yeah, so I was like, well, you know, the Minecraft statues thing, that doesn't necessarily work for everybody. Are you shooting at me? Am I getting targeted? No? Anyway, the fact of the matter is, I saw, you know, almost everybody on here has some sort of donator haul, and I figured, you know what? This is kind of the place where people expect to find time-shotters putting their stuff, and so I figured, you know, a vanilla series is kind of a good neutral. If you're not a fan of dinosaurs or you know, whatever, you know, if you're a Pokemon fan or, you know, whatever, at this point, I feel like the vanilla series is a good kind of neutral place to do all that kind of stuff. So this big central hub area is going to be not only the nexus of our whole base, but it's also going to be the donator Hall of, you know, Heroes sort of deal. And so I've got this whole thing platted out. There's going to be kind of a towering structure here in the middle with a little bit of green space scattered around, things like that. But it's going to kind of be where I'm going to honor, you know, my Patreons, and then for people who make one-time donations, because it seems like that's pretty big here on TimeShot. A lot of people will make, you know, one-time donations. You know, like I said, I try to keep up with people's videos, so I'll watch Poet's videos, or Fabe's videos, or, you know, Mara's videos, or Huck's video. You know, these people, you know, every couple of episodes, you know, Edson's putting a new statue in his donator field, because somebody has donated to him or whatever. So it seems like that's something that this community likes to do, and I'm going to be changing up a bit of things. You know, there's things that I do my sagely wisdom before every episode and things like that, but really what I want this channel to be is kind of like gaming with a purpose. I want us to have a reason to all be coming together and doing things. And so I know, like, Poet gives, you know, something like 50%. Well, I think it used to be like 50%. I think he's doing more like 100% because he's probably getting pretty decent ad revenue at this point. But you know, something like, you know, giving a portion of whatever donations come in to, you know, some sort of good cause. Things like you know, my small group, the small group through church that my wife and I are a part of, we have all kind of decided that we've kind of adopted. There's all these programs where for, you know, $30 a month or whatever, you can adopt a child in a third world country, and your money goes directly towards supporting that kid and the organization that they're in and things like that. And you get a little picture and a note and all that kind of stuff. And that's a great way that you can, you know, pretty minimally, with minimal investment on your part, you know, $30 a month you can help out, you know, change a child's whole life. And, you know, that's something that I've been thinking about. You know, I've been looking at my kind of Patreon, you know, milestones, because you can set milestones like, oh, when I get to $50 a month, we'll do this. And I was thinking, it's like, okay, well, yeah, I think right now it's like, oh, we'll get new channel art, or we'll do, you know, blah, 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 blah. And honestly, what does that matter? I can save up my own money and get channel art if we want. But what if, you know, when we hit $35 a month, we invest as a channel, as a community, and we adopt a kid, you know, in some third world country, and we, you know, we can give updates every, you know, month or something like that on, okay, you know, this is what they're up to, because they know those things, they normally send you pictures or letters or things, and you can write back. And I'm thinking, you know, wouldn't that be something awesome as a community that we could do? And so I'm thinking I'm going to be changing up the stuff on my Patreon and things like that. And, you know, maybe every month, you know, I'll pick a charity or something, and all the donations that come in that month will go, you know, the proceeds will go to, you know, that particular charity. I don't know, but I don't want to set this thing up and be like, give me money. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm setting this up largely because I've seen a trend in the community. You guys like donating money. You guys like supporting your favorite time shotters and things like that. You know, and so I want to set this up because if you guys want to do that, I want to give you an outlet to do that. And those outlets are, again, in the description of every video down below. But largely I want to do it so that, you know, if you guys want to, you know, want to give money in that way, you can. But I don't want it to be like, all right, give me money, because I have enough money to you know, live my life. I don't necessarily need, you know, you guys giving me money for that purpose. And, you know, maybe if there's some, you know, big milestone that we want for the channel, like I would love to get the channel art, you know, get some channel art or something like that going. But realistically, I think, you know, so maybe we'll say, like, you know, maybe we'll start with, you know, 50% goes to, you know, this charity or something like that, or, you know, whatever the thing would be. But I want to come up with, you know, I don't really talk about it much, and I don't want to start being like, all right, give me money to get in this donator hall, because if you guys want to be in the donator hall, you have the option to do so. But I want to come up with some other way. I don't want to be like, all right, line my pockets so you can get in here. I want to say, you know, help. You know, my grandpa does a lot of work with Haiti. He does a lot of work in Haiti, and building communities and doing things like that there. So maybe one month it would be, you know, help, you know, families in Haiti, or, you know, whatever. And, you know, maybe some of the new Patreon levels will be like, okay, so, you know, when we get to $35 a month, we will, you know, 100% of those proceeds will be going to, you know, adopt a child in, you know, another country or whatever, and provide them with food and, you know, clothes and things like that. You know, there's other organizations where, you know, for, you know, $50, $80, $100, you can provide, you know, a dairy cow to a family that'll be their whole livelihood is, you know, the milk that cow produces. Or you can provide, you know, clean water filtration systems so that they have clean water, and you know, all these sorts of things. Is really going to be more the goal of this. You know, I'm doing this for you guys because I've seen, you know, in watching everybody else's videos as I do, that you guys love doing that and love supporting people and things like that. But I'd rather, you know, if you guys want to support my channel and what we're doing, I want my channel to be doing things that are worthwhile, I guess is the point. So anyway, guys, I've laid out the base here. I'm going to be putting in some supports that go down to the ocean floor, and that's going to be a bit of a challenge. I think what I need to do is get some potion brewing going, set up a brewing station, maybe even out here. I'll get the base platform in, because essentially what I'm going to do, you know, I'm going to have struts going down to the bottom floor. I'm going to be having, like, it's going to be I want to make this, you know, we're out in the middle of the ocean, but I want to make it as green as possible. So we're going to have, like, grass in a lot of this area outside the big building we're going to build here. Grass and trees and, you know, maybe little water systems or something. Although we're on the ocean, probably not water. But, so I'm going to do, like, a layer of dirt here, you know, level with that. And then underneath that dirt, I'm going to line everything. Oop. That's disappointing. That's gone forever. I'm going to line things, you know, with half slabs of stone, I think, so that like if we wanted to do a little water feature, whatever, we're not just a one thick thing here, or if I accidentally hit it with a shovel, we're not going to fall into the sea or whatever. And so we're going to be doing that, and obviously, you know, this is just the top. We're going to be, you know, doing, you know, stuff down here as well and things like that. But I'm probably going to work on a lot of that off camera. It's gone forever too. Oh, well, it is, but that was my fault. But yeah, so I'm going to work on doing some of this off camera, but we'll get the main platform in. So I'm going to fill this whole thing in with like stone slabs. And then we'll be able to set up things like, okay, so I need to set up a brewing station because we're probably going to need like, you know, water breathing potions. We're probably going to need, you know, resistance, and, you know, some of these other things, because honestly, with all these stupid guardians spawning around here, as interesting as it is, it really makes it a bit of a pain to do water building, which won't be a huge portion of this. Once we get the platforms in, you know, we're going to just be building on top of them, so we should be safe. But we have to build all the platforms, and I don't want these just, you know, hovering above the water. I am going to want to have, you know, these go down into, you know, into the water, onto the surface of the, you know, to the bottom of the ocean or whatever. And so that's going to be challenging. I'll make sure that I'm, you know, potioned up as best I can be. But probably going to die a lot, so won't be... I put some chests out here so I don't have to bother taking any of my gear with me when I go do some of this stuff, just because it's going to be... it's going to be a bit of a grind, I think. You know, in fact, I want to quickly sleep, so in case we die, we don't have to make the long trek back. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today, guys. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a sense of, you know, what we're doing out here. So, a lot of you guys have said, you know, you should be building a giant turtle to build on and things like that, and that's a cool idea. But we've got Tortoise Island, and so I don't want to, you know, build, you know, just a giant turtle to build on, because I want this to be something a little bit more. That's kind of cool, but it's a little, I guess, cheesy, which I don't generally have any problem with. But I want this to be something different. But I do think you guys will like the direction we're going with it. And so, here we go. Yeah. Oop. Hello. But yeah, so we're gonna keep working out here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you guys understand kind of where I'm going with it, and you'll get a better picture of that the next time we're together. It seems like every time I record a solo episode, it's pretty few and far between because we do so much collabing on this server. I only put out once a week. I only put out once a week. That sounds a little funny. But I only put out a TimeShot episode once a week, so you know, if I record an episode and then something more interesting pops up, like I think I recorded that updated Tortoise Island, and then, you know, we ended up having the PBS episode happen, and so I went ahead and put up that episode instead, and then we had the Clash of Disciples thing happen. We recorded that like a couple days after the PBS episode, and so that then went out the next week, and then by the time it's like, okay, well, this solo episode is no longer relevant. So I'm going to try and keep you guys as updated as I can. I'm not going to do a ton of work without you guys. I mean, obviously some of this is just kind of grindy, buildy stuff, so I'm going to, you know, basically get the bottom of this platform filled in. We'll get all the slabs in, we'll get the struts down, things like that, and I'll show you guys the progress that we're making. But I want you guys to get a feel for not only what we're doing physically here in Minecraft, but, you know, this is going to be a donator haul, but I wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of, you know, what we're going to be doing with that, because I don't want this to become a, you know, give me your money sort of thing. If you guys want to give money to get in the donator haul, I want to make sure that we're doing something good with that money, because I don't need, you know, I have a full-time job. I can, you know, support myself. Some of this stuff, you know, if we're, you know, if I need a new microphone and it ends up being like, you know, well, this microphone's $150 or something, you know, that's something that probably I will save up my ad revenue or Patreon revenue or, you know, donations or something to do that, because that's something specifically for the channel. But I'm able to put food on my table, pay my mortgage, things like that. So I don't need your money. But if you would like to give money, ooh, we can certainly find good things to do with it. And so I think that's going to be the goal, and I think you guys are going to really like the direction this build is going. I'm really excited about the direction this channel is going. I'm going to be making some changes, like I said, to my Patreon and things like that to kind of change, you know, okay, well, what of our milestone goals are at, you know, oh, get some channel art or buy a new microphone or whatever. It's like, well, that's you guys don't need to pay for that kind of stuff necessarily. I can, you know, figure out a way to do that, but maybe if we take a small chunk of the proceeds, put it towards the channel, and put the rest of it towards, you know, doing some good in the world, I think that'll be the way to go. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Tortimer the Gray, and you guys have been great. Let me know what you're thinking about everything we talked about today, and I will see you guys all back here next time on TimeShot. Probably it'll be a collab or something. Well, actually, yes, next week should be hopefully a collab. We're trying to get a Halloween something going, hopefully, with the server. But sometimes there's so many of us now, it's hard to get people together to do some of that stuff on occasion. So I don't know if it'll be a whole server thing or if it, but hopefully we'll be able to get a couple people together and do something fun like that. So, but yeah, anyway, I've been Torm the Green. You guys have been great. Make sure those likes, comments, subscriptions for me, guys, and I will see you all back here next time. Have a good one.